Right, what I wanted to kind of show and demonstrate is just how shitty these standard arms are. I mean, these are the original ones as far as I can tell. They're not the aftermarket ones, so I mean these are pretty much stock, which will be on most of your guys' Ignis Sports. Reason I looked at these is, as you can see with the back one, polybushed full car. It's when I took the original set of these arms off, which is these, I just looked at the profile and looked at the steel, and I just thought for something that holds quite a lot of weight and kind of gives a lot of feedback to the car, these just looked just cheap and nasty. They didn't look the strongest, so when I put the poly bushes in, obviously I took the arms off, pushed the bushes out, and then that's when I kind of stumbled across how bad these arms were. I did this little experiment just to prove to myself that modifying the arms and welding a tube into the sort of profile and stitch welding it and welding it all the way around, in my eyes it were a no-brainer. It's got to improve the feedback from the car. These, as you know, hold the real axle on. Axle's mounted there. There is the sort of panhard bar that runs across left to right to kind of limit a little bit of side-to-side movement, but there is just rubber bushes in those arms, in the panhard rods. So again, you've got a bit of play, a bit of feel. So what I wanted to do with the Ignis is, when I was building this, is just make it feel and drive the best it possibly could. I wanted to just take it from a little daily ride to a little weekend toy. And it's only when say you start investigating bits and start adding bits, you find another problem, and you start needing to modify and marry stuff up. So everything has a every mod you do has an effect. Every change you do changes the feel of the car. These were just an idea I had to try and make the car feel as best as it could. So yeah, I'll get the arm in this vise and I'll try and just demonstrate what I found out and what the difference between standard arms and modified arms. If anybody wants their arms modifying, drop me a comment. It's something we can knock up pretty easy. The poly bushes, which are the Powerflex ones, again we get decent prices on those, we get trade on those. So again, if you need any of those, let us know. Even though the Ignis is going to a new owner, there's still plenty of other projects going on, so we're still getting the bushes, and I'll still be using Powerflex because I found they're the best ones, personally, in my experience, they're the best ones. I never seem to have any problems with them. So yeah, right, let's get this in the vise and let's show you what I found out. Right, so that's standard arm in the vise. You can see that's secured where it would be attached to the axle. This point is where it's connected to the chassis. So then when I did this ages ago, which made me do this mod, but first thing I'll show you, so standard bushes, obviously these are in pretty good condition, but there's still loads of play in that, which is it's obvious why you put poly bushes in. The rear ones, they're a solid rubber bush, and these again not bad condition, but still a bit of flex. I mean, they are there to take some vibration of the road up, so yeah, by sticking poly ones in you're going to get a lot of vibration feel. But on my build I wanted it to be stiff, I wanted it to feel like a bit of a mini track car. But let me show you what's I noticed the most. So standard arm, see, it's just channel. I say chassis mounts, obviously that's going to feel the most amount of flex because obviously the axle's going to move and it's going to be exaggerated at this point. But if you look at that, I'm not pulling too hard. It just shows you how much flex is in those arms. So you can get a bit. I'm not pulling on it hard. I know it's probably not best to see with a camera. I'll show you, but I mean you can see by the bush just how much twist is in that, which that's got to make a difference to the handling. There's loads, and again I'm not pulling on that hard as I said, but right, I'll get the modified one in the vise and I'll show you how much flex is not in those. Right, so that's the modified arm in the vise, that's clamped in the same place. What are you two doing? Bob? You helping? Ted? You helping too? No? You're going to demonstrate? Right, anyway, so yeah, that's clamped in. Mole grips on the same place as the standard arm. I'll just show you difference in poly bushes. So again, pulling quite hard, but you can see there's sod all movement in that. But I mean, you guys know advantage of putting poly bushes in anyway, so they're always a good mod to do. Bob, don't agree? Right, so I'm going to pull on the grips, try and show you if there's any sort of flex movement. Let me put that there, might emphasise it a bit. But so yeah, I mean, you can see I'm pulling on that quite hard, and there's no movement whatsoever. So you can see, not as strong as some biggest guys, but yeah, I can still make a bloody arm flex. So yeah, that just shows you, just by welding that bar in, just by oh well, anyway, just by welding that bar in, you can see I've kind of stitched it in all along there. These have been on the car for 6 months or so that's why they're a bit rusty, but there is literally no play, no movement in there, so that's, in my eyes, a bloody good mod to do, and one for, you know, very little money. Most on welders can fabricate a bar up. I did think about doing it with flat bar, running it along and following the profile, but because these are kind of contoured in, I thought the tube would be a better idea, and you know, I had plenty of that lying around. So yeah, I'd get your welds out, get them modified, see if you can tell the difference as much as I did. But thanks for watching. Bob says thanks too. I'd love it if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, you know, give me some stick, give me some shit about how crap a videos are. If you want to see more of Bob, Ted's not the biggest fan, he just likes eating spiders. And yeah, we'll try and do a few more bits and bobs on the Ignis before it gets sold. But yeah, thanks again.